Hey guys, Anthony here, Bibles and Barbells. It is August 7th, 2020. I am here today on a little trip into Charlotte, and I have some companions with me. I've got Teddy right there and Charlotte right there on the floor. We are in the van, and we are at a store where my wife is getting some fabric. She's doing some shopping, and I decided I'd make a video. I haven't put one up in a while. Just a chit chat, go over some things that are going on around the world, and talk about moving forward and how I believe things are going to be looking as we get closer to the elections in November. If you guys are keeping up with the news, you've probably all saw what's happening or what happened in Beirut, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Libya with Turkey and Egypt, Hezbollah, Israel, Syria, China. So we've got all that going on, which fall into the category of wars and rumors of wars. So that's ongoing. And guys, war can break out any day. At any moment, full-scale war can break out. I don't have the camera mounted. I'm just holding it. So just want to give you guys, make sure you guys can see me and can hear me. And so Antifoss upping its ante, if you will. They've decided to go into the suburbs in some areas. And I think on my Instagram page, I put a clip of them in, looks like what is a residential neighborhood. And a lady comes out and they're harassing her. And she goes back inside and she gets a baseball bat and walks back outside again. And I think that was from, the video was from Twitter. And so my comment on Twitter was, what's going to happen when the rank and file American decides they don't want to be bullied around anymore? What's going to happen then with Antifa, Black Lives Matter, or any other mercenary communist socialism group that sprouts out from now moving forward? What's going to happen when the rank and file American doesn't want to be picked on at his home, doesn't want to be abused, and doesn't want to be bullied into or being pushed into beliefs he don't believe in, he or she doesn't believe in, or having stuff crammed down their throats and their families' throats that they don't want to have crammed down their throats. So I think I know the answer. Maybe you guys can chime in and give me what you think. You know, I never edit comments, so everything that's commented, just keep it clean, and everybody could read your comments. As far as the state of the nation goes, we are in a full-scale decline, a full-scale collapse. That's quite evident. If you're thinking that we're not, you're watching the wrong news, or you're getting your sources mixed up. We are in a full-scale collapse. The dollar is collapsing. They're probably doing it on purpose in order to bring in a digital dollar at some time in the future. The government is propping up the market. So with 40+ million people unemployed, I don't think they're buying stocks. The stock market is artificially propped up. If you watch the right channels and listen to the right programs and get your news from the right sources, you'll see what's being done on that end of the spectrum. People are afraid, many of them. Many are living just day to day. I happen to be fortunate that I'm still working right now, but that could change at any time. I know that, and so I make preparations for that. All of the prepping that I've done over the years hopefully will pay off, and probably will pay off. A lot of the things that I put into place I'm looking back now and I'm thanking God that I did. Many people are still in denial. In fact, many of the people and I'm not going to say all, but many in the Dem-run states, let's say New York, Illinois, California, Michigan, New Jersey, Massachusetts, now Virginia, North Carolina, which wasn't before, but now it is. You're seeing a lot of the people or the leaders in those states who just have the people buffaloed. They've got us scared. They've got them running scared. De Blasio, the mayor, communist dictator in New York City now, is supposedly setting up checkpoints where he's going to stop people randomly from out of state, have them, fill out a form, get interviewed by his Gestapo, but at the same time, his city is overrun with crime. So don't you think that the people would rather have him get tough on crime than, waste resources trying to see who's coming in and out of his state? A state that has no less the most COVID deaths in the country, I think in the world, by population. New York has the highest. So they should be the last place that's looking from people from out of town. They should be looking at their own and what they've done wrong in this pandemic. So you got these Democrat socialist leaders in these Dem-run states. And again, I'm not sticking up for the Republicans. I've said it before in my writings, postings, and in videos that I think the Republicans are just as big of a problem as the Democrats are. I just don't trust either party. I think they're all in on the scam. They know what's going to happen. Most of them do. There are a few holdouts, I think, that might be around. But any incumbent Republican should be kicked out of office and new blood voted in. And all Democrats are just speak for themselves. They're just nothing but a waste of our liberties. You want to throw your liberty out the window, a vote Communist Democrat ticket, and you'll get what you pay for. 100 children shot in Democrat-run Philadelphia. This should be no surprise to everybody. Just looking down some of the news things. You got Trump talking about a vaccine, blah, blah, blah. It's going to come out before the elections. He's supposedly funding vaccines from a couple of different companies. One of them, I believe, was a Bill Gates company. So, Trump's not 100% an angel either, guys. The vaccine that's coming out for the COVID virus, I'm not getting it. I've already told my boss if they make it mandatory to have the vaccine for work, then he'll have one less employee. So I don't plan on taking it. A lot of people are probably lining up for it. But if you want to put that in your body, God bless you. I won't be doing it. So again, I think what we're going to see moving up into the as we get closer to the elections, we're already seeing it, more Democrat fraud with voting. They want to have you be able to mail in your ballot. So in order to pass that or to sell it to the people, they're in the process of mailing out ballots to everybody, even people that don't request them. They're going to make it so it's going to be so dangerous you don't want to go out because you're going to be in fear of catching whatever is out there close to the election. Of course, the numbers are going to go up. They're using this pandemic as a stage to plant fear into people, to scare you into being afraid of going out to vote from home, where they could provide the fraud that they need to steal the election. So that's going to be ongoing. I don't think Trump is going to be successful stopping that. I think that's going to happen on a wide scale. So don't count on that happening. A lot of schools that are slated to reopen later this month. I think they're either going to reopen for a short period, or something's going to happen prior in the next few weeks to cause them to change their minds, to alter their plans, and to hold off on opening. So look for that to come forward in the next couple of weeks. Anything is on the table right now, guys. The country's in a free fall. We've allowed communist groups to burn our cities, to rape and pillage and murder, to defund the police, which we know is just code words for bringing in their own police force, a nationalized police force, one that they can control on a national level, or maybe bring in UN-funded troops to support that effort in the beginning until they get their national police force enshrined. We're going to see more of Joe Biden hiding in the basement. I think he's just a cover for who they really want to be president. If you ask me for my opinion, I'll give it to you. I think either Joe Biden's going to be replaced before the Democrat convention. I believe that's in Milwaukee. He's either going to be replaced, or whoever he picks for vice president will become the next president when he steps down shortly after he wins the election. And so my belief is that would be, like I said from the beginning, I think it's going to be Hillary Clinton. That's just my belief. Or Michelle Obama. Those are the two people that I think he would pick as his vice president. And then when he gets full-on dementia shortly after getting elected, he'll have to step down, and one of those two would step into place. And there you go. You got your president, your new president. So that's my opinion if the Democrats win. If the Democrats lose in November, they're not going to accept the election. There's going to be full-scale war, looting. It's going to be a nightmare. Whatever happened prior they're going to make it look like a walk in the park. So either way, come November, we have a lot of unrest to look forward to. Hopefully your preps are in order, your food, your shelter, your food, your water. You hear this on a lot of channels, but I'm being totally serious. If you watch my channel, you'll know that I've been putting stuff aside for years for my family, and I don't plan on stopping. I have never stopped. In fact, I've ramped up the last 5 months, 6 months, seeing what was coming down the pike. Also becoming my own central bank. Not depending on 401k bullcrap. Not depending on what's in the bank. If you really look at what banks are doing to people's credit, what they can do to your savings that's in the bank in the form of, if a collapse happens, what could happen. The things you have in the bank or safe deposit boxes, etc., are not yours. They can be seized or frozen, and you can be denied access. So make plans now to withdraw a certain amount of cash, reinvest some into bullion, into tangible assets that you hold, because that seems to be what the market's doing. So if you're really watching the market and gold and silver prices going up, you'll see that people are looking for a safe haven. They're getting nervous. The markets are getting nervous. I don't think that even with all the generation of fiat money out of thin air, at some point it's going to come to a halt, and things are going to come to a head, and we're going to have to pay the piper. And that's when they're going to bring in the digital dollar. So everything is going to be tracked in the future. I'm not going to give you a date, but everything's going to be tracked. So make plans now to opt out of the system as long as you can, because when the system changes, there's going to be radical new new restrictions, if you will, put into place. So be ready for that. Be ready for civil unrest. Be ready for rising crime rates. Be ready for more inmates to be let out of prison. That's what communists do. They let the criminals do their bidding for them. They let the lower underlings do their raping and pillaging and robbing and intimidating of the public. The problem is Americans are armed. They're getting fed up, and they have the ability to defend themselves against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But be prepared for food shortages, water shortages, power outages, possible, and it'll be another video, but the possibility of a country like China bringing down our grid or sabotaging our grid in some way with an EMP or a combination EMP computer grid crash or infestation, if you will. So the next round of unrest can happen in the dark, and it can happen when power's out, water systems are out, communications are down, you can't call for help, or it'll be a lot harder to call for help. You'll be in the dark, you'll be cut off, and you'll have to fend for yourself. So it'll be a lot worse than what you saw, what they unleashed in the cities. You'll see that not only in the cities, but also moving up into the suburbs. Random crimes, carjackings, you name it. You've got to have your head on a swivel, travel armed everywhere you go, have access to firearms, self-defense items, and also other people to help you, and maybe a safe refuge to go to if your homestead is not a safe place. So, guys, that's what I want to talk about this morning. More videos to come. I had, those of you that have followed my channel, I did start a Patreon channel a while back. I'm putting it on hold. I don't like the format of Patreon. I just don't like having to charge people to see my content. You know, I don't know. I just don't like the way it's set up. A lot of people are successful on it. I don't like having to charge people a monthly rate to watch my videos. So I'll stay on YouTube as long as I can. And when I think it's too dangerous to do so, I'll probably cut my channel down and cut down a lot of my social media and just go dark. So that's what I have planned. So you'll continue to see me on YouTube, and hopefully I'll be able to make videos, speak the truth, speak what's on my mind, also continue to do Bible studies, continue to build up Delta Team, which I've done several studies. I have a folder or a hot list on the YouTube channel already. You could click on the folder for Delta Team studies. I'm going to drag them in there, those videos, and you could watch them, because not only are we in a physical war with enemies, foreign and domestic, many of them in our government, but we're in a spiritual battle which is much bigger and has a wider scope than what you might believe. So Teddy and Charlotte are going to say goodbye to you. All right, say goodbye, Teddy. Teddy's my little sidekick, and also my little baby Charlotte. They're resting and waiting for mommy to come back. Okay? So, see you guys soon. Stay ready. God bless. More videos to come. Anthony signing off.